What do you mean you want to open the door? Are you crazy? It's cold out there, Zarko protested, clearly not pleased with the dragon's latest scheme. Sapphire didn't know what to say. It had certainly been an interesting sight to watch the human plane in the snow, and she had never seen a dragon do so before, even if the whites were rather famous for it.
Oh, come on! I've been in here for weeks now. I want to stretch my legs a little bit before it is time. You know we talked about it not being that much longer, Jarix pleaded, as he turned around to face away from the door again. We're nearly out of the stuff set aside for me, and now we've got snow outside.
You will let out all the heat from in here, Zarko protested, though her determination seemed to be faltering slightly. And you'll be chilled to the bone.
So what? I need to go outside to turn in anyway, right? Why not do it today? Weather is nice, and it's gonna take a bit before I cool down entirely.
We still have work to do, Jarix. We are far from done.
Yeah, but food is a thing, Zarko, and we won't get it done anyway. It will still be there when I wake up again.
I suppose that is indeed true. Have you decided yet? Will you be sleeping in here or outside? The lieutenant questioned.
If I sleep in here, it will be much colder for you, right?
Sadly, I do think so, yes.
Yeah, no. Place wasn't built for dragons to stay the winter, Sapphire clarified.
Rachuk and the others had talked about it before she could remember that much. If the greeting hall was exposed to the elements, then a lot of the heat coming up from below would fly away into the chilly air outside. Then the inner wall separating the two halls was also quite a bit thinner than the sturdy outer walls that shielded them from the chill, so that wouldn't help either. The dragon pondered for a bit, glancing towards his workstation at the press, the large wooden handle already well worn.
Okay, I will stay outside then. A drill is too. I ain't no wuss.
You do realize that the winter is never entirely safe, yes? Zarko tried, clearly wanting the dragon to think carefully on his choice.
Well, duh, it's winter. What, you think some wolves will come to have a nibble?
You never know, Zarko retorted. This is not the capital, after all. It's not even the forest outside the capital.
What, you seriously think that I might wake up with what? A chunk missing?
No, I think you would wake up in the middle of a wolf pack to a very painful searing sensation on those pretty hindquarters of yours. But it is your decision.
Well,
now the dragon seemed conflicted to Sapphire, that was for sure.
I'll go ask Tom, he finally declared. Open the door, I want to see what he is up to and go stretch my wings one last time.
Fine. Just remember that if you get too cold, you are staying down there. I won't have you fly on locked-up wings.
Yes, I know. Come on now, the dragon urged, turning back to the door, mind finally made up.
Zarko sighed audibly as she moved to stand by the winch mechanism. Radexi and even Warpot came over to help. The small charge wouldn't be much help, but Sapphire could lend a hand, mainly by getting the kid further inside. It was about to get very chilly out here after all. So she picked up the young one and made for the door to many protestations. No, I want to help out. Come on, Saph. I'm not some little shit like Kieran, and he's outside right now. Wrapped up in many blankets and a human. In we go, or you might end up with a snipped tail, Sapphire countered, in her best approximation of what Essie sounded like when handling the older kids. No, I won't. It's only for a little bit. Saph didn't bother with further rebuttals, instead carrying the unruly child away over her shoulder, just as the doorway parted from the floor behind them and started to slowly inch open, ice-cold air flooding inside. She took a look over her shoulder as she went to open the internal door, and one could literally see the fog the icy air was bringing with it inside. It sent a chill down her spine in anticipation. Warpuck had no further complaints about being dragged away either. Jarix stepped back as the cool air washed over his feet. He even tried to lift them up out of the way, rearing up as the door continued to open. I thought you wanted to go outside, mighty storm dragon, Zarko jested, as she dutifully kept working the winch, Zaph halting to see just what might result here.
It's just a little chilly. One has to adjust, slowly.
The dragon tried to defend himself. It was evident Zarko didn't buy any of his bullshit, though she did seem to enjoy the dragon's discomfort in his own actions. Tom doesn't seem to agree. Jackie woke up covered in snow this morning from what I heard, Zarko retorted merrily. It is true. He tried to throw a ball of it at me as well. Sapphire joined in, as Warpot tried to climb up a bit higher, though there wasn't really anywhere for the rather large kid to go. See? Surely he would not approve of such timid methods, Zarko carried on, downright mocking the dragon, who did come back down to all fours though with some evident discomfort.
He enjoys the cold. He's not normal, unlike me, Jarix countered, head held high. Normal? I thought you wanted to be exceptional, Zarko joked back. I must have missed a meeting. Ha ha ha. Very funny. And I thought you were supposed to be strong. Why isn't this door open yet? I apparently need to go roll around in the snow. Well, if you had thumbs, maybe you could help, you big blue baby.
Well, who might that be? Tom questioned, looking up as, finally, the large heavy door came to a stop. I don't know. I can't see them yet, Kieran offered, as the pair of them stared upwards. The work on the snowman had been coming along quite well, but they were far from done. Kieran gets slipping from inside Tom's coat as he leaned down to roll along the big drums of freshly fallen snow. Ow! Ow! It is Jarix! The little kid piped up, as the young blue stepped out onto the platform, head craning to look down at the pair of them. Come to play in the snow? Tom shouted up at the dragon as a bit of a joke. He didn't really know what the dragon might be up to going outside like that, but he was sure Rachuk or Dakota wouldn't be too happy about the door being open.
Yes,
the dragon replied, as his wings slowly spread out over the edges of the platform, angling into the gentle breeze to test the winds. Or perhaps he just enjoyed feeling them blow. Well, I'll be damned, Tom mumbled to himself, not having foreseen that particular outcome. The dragon leaped out into the cold, crisp air, wings catching lazily as he went into a slow, steady glide. Not the sort of crash dive the dragonettes often favoured, but a more measured, gentle approach that had him gliding out over the smaller buildings with a gentle grace. Jarix is very good at flying, Kieran commented, Tom nodding in agreement. It pays to have wings like sails. What is a sail? Oh, don't worry about it. Kieran didn't ask further questions. In the silence, the only noise Tom could hear as the dragon passed was the clank, clank, clank of the winch, as the door was once more shut as Jarix silently glided by. The blue dragon blended perfectly with the serene white landscape behind him as he descended into a whiter background. Slowly and silently he came into land, becoming part of the serene winter landscape around him, as with a few short steps, he came to a halt in a dignified fashion. Nice of you to join us, Tom jested, as he started walking up to the dragon, snow crunching under boot.
Yes, hello. Ever so cold out here.
Tends to happen in winter, yeah. Needed to stretch your wings?
I've been cooped up in there for weeks, yes. Oh, gods, it was lovely. A last flight, you know.
Oh, don't be so dramatic. Hardly going to be your last.
Last before the big sleep. I'm missing it already. It must be hard for the others. They have to be up all winter, unable to go anywhere.
Gee, I wonder what that might be like, Tom replied, voice laden with sarcasm.
It is different for you. You only get to be a passenger.
True. I am missing that already too, actually. It's great fun. But since you are here...
Oh no. I will not be flying far. It would cool me down much faster and...
The dragon's monologue came to a stop as a snowball hit against the side of his bare neck. Damn. My aim really is lacking, isn't it?
Why?
Jarix questioned, looking at the white spot where some of the snow had stuck. You said you wanted to play in the snow, Tom retorted, already busy with the next snowball.
But you hit me.
The dragon sounded almost taken aback by the audacity. With snow, Tom pleaded. Don't tell me the warrior dragon is hurt by a little fluffy white powder. Tom threw a second one. This time he hit the mark, nailing Jarix on the side of the head, just below the ear, as the dragon pondered his response. His head pulled back and he shook, sending the pittance of snow to the ground.
Oh, that does it. So we are flinging snow,
the dragon rumbled as he looked down, a large paw scraping the patch of ground clear of powder.
Yes, we are. We aren't scared of you,
Kieran declared, as Tom turned to run with a snicker. He had no clue how far the dragon could fling a pile like that, but it looked like a few kilos at least. That ought to suck if he got hit.
We are reposition. We are not scared,
Kieran carried on, as Tom acted the coward and made for cover behind one of the smaller buildings. Jarix heaved and was rewarded with a rather spectacular snowy mist as he flung the pawful of soft powder in Tom's general direction. Tom came to a stop laughing as the dragon shook his head again, most of the snow coming right back down on him, covering him in a thin layer of see-through powder. Look, an ice dragon, Tom went, laughing as he prepared another ball.
Pfft! It's in my mouth!
It's only water that's gone cold, you big wuss.
It doesn't taste very good.
Maybe you got some dirt too. Here, try this one. And Tom held another one which missed completely. Ah, dang it.
Right, that does it,
Jarix declared, as he turned side on, gaze moving back along his side. Tom looked too, curious what the dragon might be up to, as he saw the long live tail sweep across the ground, carrying a fair bit of snow with it. He turned just in time to shield Kieran, as he was enveloped in a very local snowstorm. Tom just laughed as Kieran hid his head inside the jacket. It only lasted a second or two before the air cleared, Tom turning back to face the dragon, still giggling. Jarix, for his part, looked very pleased at having gotten in a proper shot as well. See? There we go, Tom encouraged. It wasn't exactly what he had been expecting for a playmate, but it would do just fine.
Yes, and consider yourself outmatched,
Jarix countered, head held high in signature superiority. Oh, I wouldn't know about that. Last I checked, you were on a timer. I can stay all day.
Not if I bury you 2 meters deep.
Tom looked around at the idyllic landscape and held a gloved hand out, taking it off to fill the air properly. Oh, I don't know. I think I should be fine. Poor Kieran, though.
I'll be fine too. I can hide in here,
the kid exclaimed, finally sticking his head back out again.
It is nice and warm.
I envy you. I don't get to hide anywhere to warm up again.
Well, if you keep moving, surely that would help, no? Tom offered with a chuckle, as the dragon stood near motionless, still covered in a fine layer of snow. It had started to melt, leaving trails of water running off him.
And it brings cold wind too. Hardly a pleasant experience.
Then why did you come down here? Tom snickered, as he started to walk up closer to the dragon.
It is high time I go to sleep as well, and I thought it would be fun to spend the last heat, well, having fun.
In that case, I think I have an idea. We were making a snowman. Want to help out?
A what now?
No, they are still just walking around down there, moving snow into a pile. Who knows what it might be for? Saf concluded, as she tried not to shiver from the cold outside the armory. It better not be for bringing in here. I heard Jackie earlier, Esmeralda added, as the Council of Huntresses debated. Mostly they had been worried the human might be up to something dumb, which was perfectly safe for him, but dangerous for poor little Kieran. But so far it didn't seem like anything too wild or dangerous. Well, I am not going down there to find out. No way. It is way too cold out there. Well, I'm going to do something. I need payback from this morning, Jackie added in. I was so warm, so comfy, then he dunked snow on me like that. It was a pretty good joke, and you did get him in the end, Saf countered. It had been rather funny to see him get caught and hauled back for whatever punishment awaited, not to mention his backfired attempt at Esmeralda. He doesn't mind a bit of snow, he just found it even funnier. It's not fair, I need something else. Haven't we done enough? I think it was his turn by now, Fengi tried, in a less confrontational tone. Jackie wasn't going to hurt the guy, but she was going to get her fun. Saf was sure of that. He started it, I just retaliated. Gotta be my turn now. Them's the rules. Well, what you gonna do? Cut his hair again? Gonna be less fun the second time? Saf questioned, throwing a glance to Foe and Bo, who were remaining quiet for now. They still hadn't really made it in as part of the group. Certainly not for these kinds of talks. Though Bo was making some headway. No, I got an idea. Foe broke out, apparently taking Saf's glance for an open invitation. He is going to be fine afterward, right? Esmeralda asked. She always worried for everyone's sake, so she was just making sure. Oh yeah, of course. I'm not a monster. Okay, maybe sometimes, but no, it's not that bad. Spill it, Jackie demanded with an upnod. He put snow in your face. Just put his boots in his face. They fucking stink when he leaves them out in the hall. Tie them to his face or something. What knot would you use to do that? Esmeralda questioned with a friendly smile. Foe giving her a not-so-friendly glare in reply. How about this? I tie him up and hang him outside the keep on a rope or something, with his boots tied to his face. That seems a bit excessive, Fengi said, apprehension growing. Saf had to agree that this wasn't sounding quite proportional. And he's going to be late for work. Can't have that now, can we? I swear, Saf, he even works in bed. Then he'll be too lazy to get a book or something from the desk, so he just wrote on me instead. Fucking bitch. Wait, he actually did that? Black ink and all. Didn't even notice all day. He didn't remember until the evening. Fucking bastard. She did seem to find it at least sort of funny. It was, to be honest. Not like anyone was going to be accusing people of falling to corruption around here. Why didn't you draw someone him too, then? Oh, that could be pretty funny. Or draw on his face. That's a classic. How long do you think it would take him to notice? Fengi questioned, more on board with this idea. Oh, I got some ideas. Just you wait. Jackie, you are sounding like a scheming goblin again. What have you got in mind? I still think he is going to wake up outside with a boot on his head. He does sleep quite heavily, right? Saf questioned. And he snores, Jackie confirmed, rolling her eyes. So much snoring. Says you. I used to think Wiperna had brought some of the oxygen inside when I walked down the corridors at night. Hey, it's not that bad. Jackie, if you snored any louder, you would need to borrow Kieran's little ear defenders to not go deaf again. Sapphire snickered. I have my own, thank you very much. Maybe I will wear them to save my hearing from your jealousy. I know you look adorable in those. Fuck you, bitch. Ah, there's no way to say thank you. There. One snow person, I guess. Great job, Jarix.
All that work building the warehouse paid off, I suppose. It doesn't look too terrible,
the dragon confirmed. They all took a moment to behold their creation. It was little more than a massive pile of snow with 2 balls stacked atop it, and some decorations to make the top ball sort of look like a face. But it was the tallest snowman Tom had ever made by a massive margin, and that had to count for something. Bigger is better. Ain't that right, Kieran? No, better is better, the little kid replied defiantly from his prison cell of warmth and comfort. Jarix said so. Ah, wise words, Tom agreed, nodding sagely.
Though it doesn't hurt to be the biggest,
the dragon added with a rumbling chuckle.
What now, then? I can feel my feet growing numb and my wings are getting stiff.
A shame that, but I do have one more idea. Can you still fly?
I think so, if it's not too far,
the dragon replied skeptically. Right. You know how there are hills all around this place? We need to find the highest and steepest one. Trust me.
Oh, okay, I think I can manage that. Or we could run instead, the dragon offered,
evidently having a preference for how to go about it. Actually, yeah, why not? That was kind of fun last time. No falling over, Kieran declared vehemently. Not allowed.
Oh, yes, that was the only time you ever ran with me, wasn't it?
And I don't remember half of it, Tom added with a chuckle. You were damn fast, though, but couldn't see shit at night.
Ah, well, as you said. Best to move to keep warm. Climb on then, no wing today.
That is understandable. I'll take the long way around. Gloves. Tom held up his hands as if to explain. Not great for climbing, and no handholds.
Ah, I see. I didn't feel like sleeping in either the armor or the harness.
Jarix turned and laid out his tail, Tom being careful not to step on the very tip as he walked on up it.
Oh my, I can hardly feel anything down there.
Is that bad? Tom questioned, stepping carefully as he walked on up.
No, not particularly. It only means it will be stiff as a tree trunk soon. Hard to fly with that, you know.
I can imagine, yeah. So the cold isn't, dangerous to you in the same way?
No, we dragons sleep through the winters all the time. Cold isn't dangerous. Not alone, at least.
But the dragonettes... I remember Dakota. That was not a fun time whatsoever.
They are not dragons. They need that bark stuff they gather to not die. A gift from Etova, so they can have our resistance to the cold before going to sleep for the winter.
Right, I see. I was wondering about that stuff. So you don't need that at all?
No, I am born with that gift. I don't need to borrow it. All true dragons are. Even if the Wyatts probably don't need it, the lucky bastards.
The dragon carried on, as Tom sat down at the base of his neck, getting comfortable. What about reds? They are always warm, right?
Yes, but they cannot stand the cold. I suppose if you are always warm, you grow soft,
Jarix replied, puffing his chest out a little. Don't let Baron hear you say that.
Hell no! He would maybe fly laps for a week.
Heh. Well, no res to upset, nor whites around here to steal the glory. Shall we?
Yes. Hang on, please. If you fall off, I might not be able to find you. Or worse, I might step on you.
I would rather teach you to make jam than become it, yeah.
Exactly. So hang on tight.
Yes, I get it. The dragon turned around away from the keep and set off bounding through the snow, a pair of miscreants on his back. He started at a brisk trot, snow being flung high into the air with each step, though his passengers were kept safe up above the showers of white powder. Once he almost tripped as a paw caught on something hidden below the snow, but he carried on without slowing much. Did Weperna just lose a fence? Tom questioned, looking back to no avail.
I don't know. Maybe. Just say it wasn't me, the dragon retorted, as he started picking up the pace.
We will say it was a drill, Kieran shouted out, well and truly hidden inside the jacket away from the biting cold air that was rushing by. Good idea, Tom concurred, as he pulled up the scarf to cover his face. He could see what the dragon meant about the chilly air, but being as big as he was, working hard should be even more effective than for someone Tom's size. The dragon seemed set to test the theory as he switched to a gallop, the fields and fences now behind them. Bounding away in long leaps, his whole body coiling with each stride, Tom held onto a backspike. The long, steady movements the dragon was making didn't actually make it that hard to hang on, but the pace kept on increasing. You keeping warm there, boy? Tom questioned, as he started to wish that he'd brought the goggles too.
I am still older than you, little one,
Jarix retorted, as he picked up the pace yet further, apparently spurred onwards by Tom's little jab. Whatever you are, you're definitely quick, Tom concluded, looking off to the side and trying to tell just how fast they were going. From experience flying with Jackie, a quick hand test of the wind told him about 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, which was fucking fast on the ground. But it made some sense. Jarix did need takeoff speed after all, though he likely couldn't keep this up for more than a few minutes at the very best.
Hell yeah, I am!
Tom just enjoyed the ride. He didn't need to poke the dragon anymore. This was cool, in more ways than one. The landscape was so transformed by the gentle snow, and not a footstep to be seen, just a pure white blanket. It almost looked like it would be comfortable to fall off. Best not, though.
Will this one do?
Jarix questioned, as they started to climb up a rather sizable hill. Not quite steep enough, Tom replied, as he glanced around for any steeper parts. Then he felt the dragon rapidly slow down, coming to a skidding stop. Looking ahead, Tom saw what looked distinctly like an edge rapidly approaching, and he tightened his grip on the spike he was holding as Jarix just managed to stop before going over the edge. They both looked down the not quite sheer but certainly steep incline, and had a moment of silence.
I don't think you will get much steeper than that. Also, don't tell Zarko.
Not a word. And yeah, that'll do. Okay, do you want me to demonstrate?
You still haven't told me what it is we are doing,
the dragon countered, as he took a step to the side, looking at the long straight lines he had drawn, skidding across the snow, and the frozen ground beneath. We are going sledding, Tom declared gleefully. It's going to be great fun.
Sledding? Like those things they use in the north. I remember you said something about that, I think.
Yes, exactly like that.
I am not going to haul you around the place, so you get to have all the fun. And what do we need to help? Ah!
A wave of understanding washed over the dragon, as he looked down the steep slope.
Are you quite sure?
Definitely.
You go first.
I guess there's still a little worry left in you, Tom chided, not getting a reply. Oh, very well then. Actually, can you hold your head down low?
Yes, I can do that.
Tom scooted up the dragon's neck, guided by the spines as Jarix held his head down to the ground, and with a little hop, Tom dismounted, landing on both feet. There we are. Much easier.
Lazy human.
Scaredy dragon.
I weigh 8 tons. Just because it's perfectly fine for you doesn't mean that I will be fine. That scale I lost on my chest is still a little sore, you know.
Lies. Zarko said he was fine at least 2 weeks ago.
Kieran joined in, refusing to leave his sanctuary.
That doesn't mean it isn't still tender.
I'll go first, don't you worry. But yeah, you probably want to go on your chest. Me, though? Tom sat down, back to the slope. I'll take the relaxing way down. And with that, he tipped over backwards, and lay there. I think I misjudged the angle a bit.
Do you want a hand? Jarix offered, looking at Tom with a curious head tilt.
If you would, yeah. Jarix gently reached out a paw and poked Tom a few times until, finally, he slid over the edge. Thank you, Tom called out as he slid down the slope, picking up considerable speed. It was quite bumpy at times, but the snow was thick enough that most of the bumps were smoothed out. Kieran stuck his head out to see what the hell was going on as they hurtled along.
Whee!
It was over far too soon, just like it always was, and the two of them slowed down, eventually coming to a stop at the bottom of the hill. Behold! Sledding!
Again! We should go again,
Kieran ordered, much to Tom's delight, as he suddenly got back up again, looking back up the looming hill, the dragon perched atop. This is what a peasant feels like before he becomes a statistic, Tom mused to himself as he waved. Go on, you big girl, it's fine.
Don't let Jackie hear that.
You don't tell Jackie, I don't tell Zarko. Deal?
Deal,
Jarix shouted back down.
So, do I just lay down?
Try to keep your feet off the ground, they might dig in. Oh, use your wings to steer, or your tail.
Okay,
Jarix replied a little timidly, as he finally went to lay down in the icy snow. It didn't look overly comfortable, but Tom figured the icy air would have acclimated him at least somewhat by now. Tom and Kieran watched expectantly, as the dragon took a moment to prepare himself, and then pushed off out over the edge and down the embankment, quickly gaining speed, a rooster tail of snow kicking up behind him. There we go. Okay, we should move, Tom concluded, as the dragon barreled towards them.
Run away!
Kieran shouted, as Tom turned side on and tried to get out of the way. Since he had learned that running to the side is much smarter than directly away from the big scary thing, he and Kieran made it just fine. Jarix came skidding past on his chest, forelegs held up high. Tom turned to watch the dragon skip by and keep on going for quite a distance before he finally slowed to a stop. Tom ran on up next to him with a big grin on, throwing a glance over his shoulder at the trail the dragon had left,
Damn shame we don't have proper sleds. Actually, that might not be a bad idea for Christmas. Are you okay, Jarix? Kieran shouted out as they made their way up to the dragon, who was staggering back to his feet.
Yeah, I think so.
He looked down at himself and along his sides.
No blood, didn't hurt that much. I think I'm good.
So? Tom asked expectantly.
I will be honest, it felt more like crashing on purpose to me,
the dragon replied, seeming a little less than convinced. But you aren't hurt? Tom tried leadingly.
No, I don't think so.
Great success then. Want to go again?
I suppose it was sort of fun. Maybe one more, the dragon relented.
Next time, try steering side to side. Maybe we'll make a jump later too. Come on now, back up we go.
It's like shitty flying with extra steps.
Oh, don't be such a downer. We're going up.
I hate you, Tom.